Honor the life and selfless commitment of First Lieutenant Robert Collins to the United States Army and to our nation. While many other young Americans his age were headed back to school from spring break, Lieutenant Collins died on April 7 when an improvised explosive device detonated near his vehicle on the streets of Mosul, Iraq. He was 24 years old. It's time the American people know a bit more about this young man who sacrificed for his country, his life, his family, and all his potential, giving up all that he had and all that he was going to be. Lieutenant Collins was both a native Georgian and was based at Fort Stewart, Georgia. He hailed from the small town of Tyrone in Fayette County, where he played football under the Friday night lights at Sandy Creek High School, where he became a standout student that would take him to the halls of West Point, and where he attended Hopewell United Methodist Church with his family on Sunday mornings. Later, he became a member of the local American Legion Post 105 in Fayetteville, Georgia. For me, the death of Lieutenant Collins is particularly sobering. Robert was one of my nominees to the United States Military Academy at West Point in the fall of 2003, and he was offered an appointment there the following spring, and he graduated from West Point in the class of 2008. He became one of the stalwarts of B Company, 1st Battalion, 64th Armor Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division, based at Fort Stewart, Georgia. He deployed to Iraq in autumn of 2009. Lieutenant Collins served as his platoon's commander. While in Iraq, his unit was charged with improving security and the quality of life for the people of Iraq. He and his men also provided security for the recent successful Iraqi elections. They were dedicated to the goal of a peaceful, democratic Iraq and sought to help its people lead normal, safe lives. It is said that the measure of a man can be taken by what those who knew him say when he is gone. Robert's friends have described him as a man of great compassion, a leader with an excellent personality, and an infectious laugh. They say he was always there for friends and family for when they needed him. They say they are better people for having known him. Lieutenant Collins found his voice in the honor and patriotism of the Army. With both his mother and his father retired Army officers, he was a man with the military in his blood. They both survive him, as does his fiancée, Nicole, who was Robert's high school sweetheart. I extend my deepest sympathies to Lieutenant Collins' family and friends, and ask that my colleagues and all Georgians keep them in their prayers during this time of sadness. Robert performed his duty courageously, devotedly, without hesitation, without reservations. He was, after all, a soldier. The world may be occupied with other things on this beautiful spring day, and the media with other stories. But one of those should surely be the procession that will bring Lieutenant Robert Collins' body home today, winding its way from Falcon Field in Peachtree City through downtown Tyrone. It should also be about the Americans who knew him, who will line the roads to welcome him home a final time, recalling the words of A.E. Houseman, "Today the road all runners come. Shoulder high we bring you home, and set you at your threshold down, townsman of a stiller town." Mr. President, I yield the floor and would suggest the absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Cox.